Southwest 2669, turn left heading 110, descend and maintain 3000.
Step 110, time 3000, Southwest 2669.
Hello, fellow aviators. VREF Simmer here. Welcome to this Friday night flight. Flying the PMDG 737-700 variant from beautiful Maui down to the Big Island and the city of Hilo on the east side. So you can see weather's beautiful here in Maui right now. The sun's getting ready to set here soon. This is the live time, live weather right now on the Hawaiian Islands. And as we get closer to the Big Island, you're going to see that it is a little bit stormier over there, as it typically is.
So it's 2669, descend and maintain 2000.
On the east side of that island. So we'll jump on up in the flight deck. They're just finishing the boarding in the back. Catering trucks are just about finished up also, so we should have everything on board. And we already have all of the flight plan information loaded. We got our clearance from air traffic control. So I'm going to start us with a quick departure briefing so we can all get on the same page, and you all will be up to speed with what the plan is for our flight today. So without further ado, let's get started. So for our dispatch release, we are at United Flight 1956. We'll be flying on VATSIM today, and we're showing crew names are correct. Fuel wise, I just want to check our fuel. Starting out, we're planned at the gate with 12,000 pounds of fuel. We can see we have 12,000 pounds on board, so that's good. We'll need 11,500 is our min fuel for takeoff, so that should work well. We're planning 500 pounds of taxi fuel. For our maintenance status and MELs, let's double check here in the menus, make sure it's showing no active failures. So this is a good aircraft, nothing is broken or deferred. NOTAM wise, nothing that should affect us today in Flight Simulator. There are some real world NOTAMs we'd have to take note of, but nothing that will affect us here today. For our taxi plan, let's pull up the airport diagram using our Navigraph charts, which I highly recommend these.
Southwest 2669, turn right heading 230, join the runway 26 localizer.
And you can see there's a little bit more traffic. I think that Southwest is flying into Hilo right now. But we're going to be taking off out of Hilo here. We're at gate 1, so we'll push back. It's going to be a really short taxi, and the controller wanted us to call him before we begin the taxi. So it's going to be Alpha Charlie to the runway. Basically, we will get all of our pre-takeoff checks, briefings, make sure the flight attendants are ready before we begin that taxi to the runway, and then we'll take off right away on runway 2 to 024 heading, and it'll be a standard reject for takeoff. That means below 80 knots we'll reject.
Southwest 2669, sorry for the right turn, or sorry for the late turn. Turn right heading 290 to rejoin.
And above 80 knots only for severe engine damage or fire or the aircraft.
Southwest 2669, you're 5 miles from Lakic, Cross Wackett, got her above 1,800, cleared ILS runway 26 approach.
How loud that controller is for you all. It's pretty loud on my mix, so I don't know if I can do a lot of changing on my end with vPilot, but apologize for that. Anyways, if we get up in the air, we're planning to fly via the Nohi 2 departure off runway 2, so climb heading 024. We have that set to 2,100 feet, then a right turn to 7,000, which we're actually cleared up to 6,000 via our clearance to Nohi, and via heading 115 in the Maui 085 radial. So let's make sure that all matches here in our MFT here. So there's 024 to 2100, then intercept 115 out to Nohi, and then on our filed route it's Barbie direct.
So that's 2669, wind 290 at 3, runway 26, clear to land.
And the Victor 15, which is just Arbor and Hilo VOR. And I do already have the VOR DME approach into Hilo standing by down there at the end, which that's what we're planning to do today, as the title of this live stream stated. Distance, we're planning at 176, and we're showing a total distance in our flight plan of 141. So I think that 176 is taken into account the approach I threw in there, which is doubling up the last part of that flight in there. And here's the approach plate we'll be using. But it'll be a lot of fun because when we get down there, it's going to be kind of marginal VFR conditions, more than likely. So we'll have to get visual of the airport, probably get down to 1,800 feet well before Prask, and skirt the coastline. You can see we have a massive volcano here just off our right wing as we're coming in, and it goes up to well over 13,000 feet. So it's a pretty tight turn in here, and then land on runway 8. But a really fun approach, a little bit of a challenge, especially at night. But we'll try it today. I think it'll be sunset, so it should be really pretty. For our squawk code, that's the only other thing I need to brief. It's 1537. I have it written down here on my scratch pad, and that is now verified, which is good. Takeoff data, we're planning runway 2, and I have it all standing by right here on the FO's FMC, and it's be flaps 1 takeoff, 129, 129, 133 for V2. That is set in the speed bucket up here, and it's a DTO2 takeoff, and we have our trim set at 5.2. Great, that's all set. There's DTO2 plus 29. Flight attendant said they are ready. Engine failure path, we're just going to go straight out to 3,000 feet out over the ocean. We'll likely come back here to land, or actually we might just go up to Honolulu with the longer runway. Just depends on what happens. Terrain and obstacles, we have here. I'll turn on the terrain on our MFD here, so you can see from the ND. You can see we have mountains to our west and also to the east. So West Maui Mountains to our west, and Haleakala to our east. And ACARS is initialized and started. That is the briefing. Let me double check. I do not have the chat overlay on my screen. I apologize for that. So I will check every now and then just to make sure I respond to anyone that's in the chat. But thank you everyone for joining, or if you are watching this after the live stream has ended, thank you for tuning in. I hope you find this to be an informative and just a fun flight.
Southwest 2669, welcome to Hilo. Taxi to parking your discretion. I'm going to be closing.
Alright, we're going to move on to our pre-flight check, interior and exterior. Our pre-flight
You as well, good night.
Interior and exterior inspection.
United 1956, I'm going to be closing here. You can change to advisory 122.8. Have a good night.
I drove. Good night, thanks. Alright, so he is closing up, so we're going to switch over to advisory. So we'll just be announcing our intentions now. 122.8 on 1. Alright, pre-flight check, interior and exterior inspection complete. Circuit breakers check, nav and display switches are normal and auto. Passenger signs, they are on. There we go. Window heat. Need to reset these because I did the overheat test. There we go. Switches are on. Green lights are on. Window heat on. Engine bleed switches on. Pressurization panel is set and auto. Remote control panel set. Oxygen masks checked. Altimeters 3001 is cross-checked. Flight nav instruments checked. Warning and annunciator lights checked. Speed brake down. Takeoff warning is checked closed. Engine start levers cut off. Stab trim cutout switches are normal. Fire warning checked. Radio transponders set. Radar off. Rudder and aileron trim free and 0. Parking brake set and pressure is in the green. Windows closed, lock. Flight attendant briefing complete. Departure briefing complete. We just did that. Logbook QRHs on board. Fuel required 12,000 on board. 12,000 is required. Pre-flight check complete. Let's go ahead and start up the APU so that we can get all the equipment disconnected from the aircraft. I'm going to go ahead and request all of the ground services other than the ground power to leave the aircraft now, so that we'll be able to close up shortly. And I think I'm going to have to tell this forward cart to leave as soon as it's able to get in there. So we'll just wait on that. But APU starting up, and I think we are going to just kind of be on our own tonight. Not a lot of people here flying in the Hawaiian Islands, but we'll be listening to some of the air traffic control of actual Hawaiian controllers right now, just to give us some realistic background noise, especially after we push.
Altimeter 3004.
Alright, let's see how the APU is doing out there. Let's take a look outside. And you can see this is the northern sky. There's an F-18 flying off the coast. Great place for flying those aircraft, especially in VR. I can hear the APU running. Let's see. It looks good. Let's check the voltage up here on the AC meter. APU gen, we have 115 volts, 400 hertz. That's good. So we'll go ahead and connect the generators, and we can disconnect ground power now. Now start the timer. We need to wait a minute before we load the air onto the aircraft here. And we're just waiting to be able to get these forward carts. See, they're trying to drive up. Obviously, I don't want them to.
Flight 1956. Our flight time will be roughly 42 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode.
Forgot to turn on the fuel pump there. It still started up. APU still started up for us, which is good. Get our hydraulic pumps on. I'm just going through the flow before we do pushback. Just gotta wait on this 1 minute to elapse. Well, this is a really pretty incredible rendition of Kahului. Just when you go there, the Haleakala volcano just dominates the landscape just to the east of the airport. It's pretty incredible. So they did a great job of recreating that. Alright, we can release the forward carts now. It's been a minute. Let's get the APU bleed air going. Passengers will be thankful to have some nice air. Now that we have the bleeds on, we're going to close the forward door. And I believe now we have everything disconnected. Yep. So we're ready to get rolling here. Alright, let's do the pushback check. Doors are closed, all the lights out. Hydraulic panel set, fuel panel set, flight deck door is closed. Let's go ahead and lock it down here. And transponder is on transponder. Pushback check complete. Let's go.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start tail straight out. Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Release the brakes, please.
Alright, brakes release.
Brakes released.
Kahului, traffic United 1956, Boeing 737, push and start, gate 1, Kahului. Alright, as soon as we start rolling, we're going to start 2, then 1. Here we go. Packs off. And start 2. And 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your
Low pressure. And 1.
Thank you for flying with us.
And we're just waiting for the N2 stagnation, and we'll introduce some fuel. And there we go. Fuel flow, light up, spar valve, close light is out.
Fasten your seatbelt, pull it tight and brush left. Insert the metal fitting into the buckle. Tighten the belt by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the buckle flap. When the seatbelt sign is
Pushback complete. Park brake, please.
Alright, brake set, pressure normal.
Brake set.
Start cut out. Alright, just waiting on this EGT drop, then we'll start number 1. Here we go, start 1.
Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. African flight.
Alright, N2, oil pressure, N1. EGT is good. I'm not sure how good of a job PMDG does at this time of having residual heat on the engines. If you were to, there we go, there's our N2 stagnation. Let's go ahead and get some fuel. There's fuel flow and light up. But like I say, I'm not sure how much of a residual heat remains on the engine. Say if you just flew in and you're doing a really quick turn, generally the EGT would be a little higher. Alright. Just waiting on the EGT to stabilize and reduce. And there we go. Let's go ahead. Get everything connected. Gen 1, Gen 2 online. Go ahead and switch over to the engine bleeds. Get our probe heats on. There we go. Probe heats on. And flaps 1. Watch your knees. Let's check the controls. There's ailerons, elevators, and let me check the rudder really quickly. There we go. Looks good. And after start, check. Generators on, probe heat on, anti-ice is standard. Air conditioning panel set, recall checked, and auto brakes RTO. After start check complete. Taxi check. Flaps 1, 1, 1. Green light. Takeoff speeds 129, 129, 133. Set. Thrust DTO 2 plus 29. Set. Stab trim for 5.2. 5.2 set. Flight controls check. Taxi check complete. let's do our navigation briefing. We're planning to take off out of Kahului, runway 2, run up 6,000 initially via the Anoki 2 departure. Pull this up on the screen really quickly so you can see it. Need just a second. There's the Anoki 2. So climb heading 024 to 2,100, then climbing right turn to 7,000 to Anoki via 115 and the Maui 085 radial. So I'll have 115.1 standing by over here just in case we need it if we lose our nav capability. And it'll be 200 knot airspace initially until we get to 2,500 feet. And standard abort criteria, like I said, flaps are set at 1, speeds are at 29, 129, 133, and that's set in the bucket. And that's all I have. We'll have LNAV armed for now, but we'll make sure the aircraft's turning right on departure, unless we get instructions otherwise. For takeoff check, we will do in just a second. Let's make sure the flight attendants are ready. I think they're getting ready to go. We'll start our taxi. So we're clear left. We're clear right. I'm going to turn us to the left. Here we go. Alright, flight attendant is ready. Just heard her give us the word. And we'll get the radio going here.
Read back correct.
Point 377 ATF center radar contact, 2 miles southwest, 1 vortex, leaving 3,000.
Radar contact, 20 miles southwest, VATSIM, clear to Lanai, vortex.
Alright, runway 2's on the sign. And let me announce our intentions. Kahului traffic. Kahului traffic, United 1956. Boeing 737, taxi runway 2 via Alpha Charlie. Kahului. Alright, before takeoff check, runway position is runway 2.
Zero Victor Papa, first traffic no factor,
Checked.
second traffic 12 o'clock, 12 miles
Flaps.
off the direction, converging, Paulada, 7,800, climbing to 8,000.
Navigation briefing complete, takeoff warning. Let's just move the thrust lever
Block
forward
10
there.
miles southeast on
Checked.
converging,
Auto
King Air
throttle.
9,000.
Arm.
189, contact approach,
Taste
118.3
ignition.
today.
Kahului traffic, United 1956. Departing runway 2 via the
377,
Anoki 2
maintain
departure,
250 knots,
depart
in the
to
climb.
east. Kahului. Final is clear. Alright, let's get the strobe on, get all our lights on. It's looking good. So
United
autopilots armed,
218,
we can
radar
start
service
switches
terminated,
continuous
remain pressing
transponder.
squawk, frequency change approved, have a good flight to O'Hare.
Excuse me. Is TARA.
Good night.
And get the HUD down. Flight attendants notified and acknowledged before takeoff check complete. Here we go, engine instruments all
Zero
look
Victor
good.
Papa, roger.
Let's roll. I have controls.
Alaska 806, climb maintain flight level 310.
Alright, there's 40%
Center via final.
N1. Toga.
Delta 481, contact approach 119.5, good day.
119.5, Delta 481.
Over 60 Victor
Check.
Papa,
Throttle hold,
did you want
engine.
the RNAV runway 4 approach to Kamuela?
Rotate.
Victor Papa, roger, clear direct Tammy. Max 948, the center maintain 10,000.
Delta
Honolulu,
788, radar
04.
service terminated, remain
You're
pressing
up.
squawk, frequency change approved, have a good flight to Minneapolis.
Center
Take
maintain
care.
10,000, Honolulu altimeter 3004. Yeah, reduce speed to 250, contact approach 118.3 today.
Alright, there's 1000 VNAV, please. And at 2100, we'll make our turn to 115 heading.
92, contact
there
Hilo,
it
approach
is.
119.7.
That'll begin accelerating. Looks like once we get it to about 197, I believe, we can recheck the flaps.
State TF Center Squawk 1725, Honolulu altimeter
That's
3004.
coming up. Let's get a quick view on the outside. You can see it's
Six radar
absolutely
contact,
beautiful.
6 miles
Out of
northwest
Maui.
of 194 taxi altitude. Roger 3055, Honolulu altimeter 3004, contact approach 118.3, good day.
American 694, change to my frequency 124.1.
Alright, flaps 0.
We're up 24-1 American 694.
After
American
takeoff,
694,
check.
thanks, cross Bambo, out of maintain 10 south of the Honolulu altimeter 3004.
Cross Bambo 10 south American 694.
Five for 6,000.
Attention all aircraft information, Quebec is now current on Molokai, the Molokai altimeter 3005, runway 5 in use.
And there's 6,000. That was our initial altitude we were cleared to. And pretty soon we should be turning left out to Anohi. Here we go.
06, APS
I'm just going to practice some hand flying for a bit. After takeoff, check. Flaps. Up. Landing gear up, off.
6 heading 280 vectors
Packs,
for Honolulu.
auto engine bleeds are on. Pressurization panel checked. Engine start switch is really more continuous till we get up above these clouds and APU. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Whoops, not
Hello,
start.
Zulu
Off.
Foxtrot,
There we go.
HCS Center, after Pele, go to camp.
After
Giant
takeoff, check.
3811, descent at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 200.
We'll assume we're cleared up to 15,000 now.
10,000 correction 13,000 will have
There we go.
Alaska 806, climb and maintain
And
flight level
we have-
350.
And we'll go ahead and turn autopilot on. There we go. First command. Let's take a look at some of the views out the back here. It looks like
7
PMDG
APS Center
has
Squawk
added this.
1754.
This is new. Just none of the buttons work, but that's cool. And road to Hana is down there somewhere. Going all the way over to Hana, and the airport will come into view soon. Let's head back up to the flight deck. Right, here comes 10,000 feet. Give the flight attendants the bells. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the weather in
Delta 428,
Hilo,
change to my frequency
and
124.1.
calculating the landing data for our flight this evening. Alright, got the weather in Hilo. Looks like it's currently 13 minutes old.
428 is on 124.1.
Delta 428, roger, thanks.
Winds are
19.3, have a good night.
350
Southwest
at
14.
5, 10 miles visibility.
45 to 9 42.
View at 1600.
See ya.
Broken at 2200.
South 4.
Overcast
We
at
have vector.
Southwest 1400, APS Center,
3,300.
roger.
Temperature is 2.22,
Yep.
Giant
altitude
3811, roger.
3007.
We
We'll
have
plan
Alpha
the VOR DME as brief just
Aloha
for
42,
fun.
APS Center, roger, Kona
And
altimeter 3000.
looks like we will be able to land on runway 8, no problem. I'll have a very slight tailwind of 1 knot, but I'm still going to do it just for
Line
fun.
377, contact APS Center,
14,000,
119.3.
15,000.
19 good day, Line 377.
Alright, we're going to get our landing data really quickly using TopCat.
No,
So,
7
Hilo
Yes, sir.
runway 8. And we got the weather. I'm going to compute it. Have our numbers here in just a second. It's crunching the numbers. Alright, so runway 8 looks like we are leveled off at 15,000. So runway 8 is we'll be landing at flaps 30. VREF is 128. V approach will be 133 with the light winds today. And it looks like we need, just round it up to 5,000 feet of runway to land, and we have, well, also do auto 3 here. Pull up the chart here. Said 4,500 feet of runway needed, and that's a low visibility distance, so that's being extra conservative. And in Hilo we have on runway 8, 9,800 feet. We'll use auto 3. That'll save us some distance. And
Sky 3811, contact center 118.45 today.
let's go ahead and set up for VOR DME attacking Alpha. It'll be a VOR DME.
3811, heavy 28.5,
Load that in.
200.
Assumed that we'd already been
Giant
cleared.
3811,
for this. Now,
HCS center.
requested it.
Center maintain
Execute
10,000,
this.
Kona altimeter 3000, advise of information.
Alright, we're gonna 106,000, we'll pick up Alpha Giant 3811.
Alright,
1400's looking for loss.
we'll catch the views outside the aircraft really quickly, then we'll come in and we'll brief the approach.
Sofa
Alright,
42,
so there's
suspect
Honda
theater about
back
3000,
from Maui,
cleared ILS,
Maui,
runway 17 approach.
Moving it behind.
Suspect theater about 3000, cleared
And
ILS,
here comes
runway
the big
17 approach,
islands.
Sofa 42.
Giant 3811 has Alpha.
Number 60 Victor Papa, Kona altimeter 3000, contact center 118.45 today.
Pushing 1825 today, 0 Yes, good evening. 60 Victor Papa, 11000,
Number 60 Victor Papa, HCS center, roger.
Alright, coming up on the top of
The
descent,
Kona
just
altimeter
about
3000.
20 miles now, so we'll go ahead and get everything set up. Make sure we
24
are ready
altitude, signing
to go.
7 roger, meet
169
at or
is
below
going to be the
7,500 for now.
frequency for the Hilo VOR. Go ahead and tune that in both sides, get it active. Final approach course found is
Friendly
145.
56, Honolulu altimeter 3004,
That's
contact approach 118.3 today.
There we go. Alright, and our MDA, we're in category C today, so
756,
840.
Honolulu altimeter 3004, contact
Barrow.
approach 118.3 today.
This set. See that down in the lower right corner of the PFD. As the number goes up, just gotta get it to
3004.
840.
Yeah, pilot discussion at 10,000, Hawaiian 377.
Perfect, got it. And also let me set up the HUD. Airport runway elevation will be 27 feet according to the airport diagram, and length is 9,800. You know, I don't think I did put it in there. Okay, good. Alright, perfect.
2311, HCS center, full caller, clear direct Julie.
Alright, planning Hilo International 25th June 21, 13-2 VOR DME. VORTAC frequency is 169, it's at both RTUs. 145 is our
Alaska 806, radar service terminated. Remain present squawk. Frequency change approved. Have a good flight to San Diego.
1,800 feet. MDA, GAT C is 840 feet. Visibility needs to be 2.25 miles. We currently have ceilings at 2,200 feet, so well above that, and visibility of 10 miles. So we should be able to begin the approach. Upper elevation is 38 feet. We have a pressurization all set up for that. MSA 15,000 to the west. That's the Mauna Kea volcano that we can see
Here,
right out the
Papa,
lens
center
right here.
maintain 7,000.
1,500 to the northeast, 3,000 to the southeast around Hilo vortex. Looking at, it'll be 3,000 feet. Once we get on the other side of Paris, we go down to 3,000 feet to Arbor, and then 1,800 feet to Prask. And then Prask is down to 840. Once we get the runway in sight, we're going to set up for our right base.
Delta
Extended right
428,
base,
descend
runway 8
at
right along the shoreline.
maintain flight level
Heading
200.
south.
Discretion down to flight level 200,
And,
Delta 420.
We do have to go mist. It's climbing left turn to 3,000. Let's make sure this is all set in here.
United 3448,
Climb left
center
turn
climb
at
and maintain
3,000.
flight level 330.
Outbound on the Hilo 079 radial to views and hold. Highest obstacle is the Mauna Kea mountain volcano. We're 13,000 feet. And looks like once we land, there it goes. Should have a PAPI on the right. Unused will be on 3 nautical miles, 3 degree. Maybe right hand turn off either Echo or at the end. We'll taxi Alpha, Echo into the terminal. Alright, that's our plan. We'll go ahead and set 1,800 in. The window will begin our descent shortly. And let's do
United
our
344, clear
descent check.
traffic, Foxtrot Alpha, India Sierra.
Go get altimeter set 3007. Alright, descent check. Altimeter
United
is 3007.
253,
Cross checked.
contact
Minimum
center
Barrow 840.
118.45, good day.
Cross checked. Landing data is VREF 128. It's not in there yet, so let's get that in. That's why we do checklists. So it's going to be flaps 30, 128. And wind correction is 5 today. Alright, so landing data, ref 30, 128. Approach briefing complete, auto brakes 3. Seatbelt signs on, pressurization panel set, recall, check, descent check complete. And we'll begin the approach at
11 miles.
Paris.
Westbound, source 360, 8,000. (24/7) affirmative.
Let's get another view from the outside.
Transit 6, traffic 11, moving to 12 o'clock in 10 miles.
American 694, contact approach 118.3, good day.
United 253, just 10 meter. Aloha 42, contact 1 tower 120.3.
That is beautiful, I must say. Looks like we did not start our descent, and now we're way off. And it slowed us down a lot while we were outside. It's for like 2,500 feet above.
Giant 3811, area of moderate precipitation, 11 to 1 o'clock in 10 miles, extends for 5 miles, tops and bases unknown.
Must have reduced the altitude
Giant
window
3811,
right
cross the
as
polar
it
point
was
vortex at
transitioning,
above
so it didn't start
8,000,
our
cleared
descent.
ILS, runway 17 approach.
1 to a Foxtrot, contact HF approach, 119.5. 37, contact HF approach, 118.3.
But we'll get down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring the flight spoilers out just to help us get back on the profile here. looks like we're only we're 800 feet above
Here,
our
60 Victor
planned
Papa,
path. We're looking
traffic
good.
11 o'clock, 10 miles,
We'll
eastbound,
have to
short
start
360,
slowing
8,000.
down here soon. That's gonna be the only trick. So I plan to be
Grand 06, first traffic, no factor, additional traffic 12
gear
o'clock,
down
10 miles southeastbound, Kinger 7000.
and slowing through
7 traffic, no
flaps
factor,
15
altitude here
at
is
5 out, and then already configured for landing
United
2 miles
1509, ATS Center, squawk
from
2214.
Prass. So let's pull up the approach plate really quickly. There's 10,000 feet. We give the flight attendants the bells. There we go. So it's 10 miles from Arbor to Prask, so 5 out from Prask. We'll go ahead and make sure the gear's down, going through flaps 15, 2 out from Prask. I want to be configured at flaps 30 and RV approach. So that's the plan. Energy management is important. Alright, so we're almost onto the approach. Alright, we'll make our call at Hilo. Hilo traffic 1956, Boeing 737, 30 miles to the north inbound, land Hilo.
At a 348 heavy, leaving 8,000, climb into 16,000.
United 340 Heavy, ATS Center, clear Stephen, Charlie Echo, Bravo Echo, November, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Climb up to 370, direct to Stephen, United.
It looks like we should level up to 1800 just
United
inside
340,
Arbor,
crossing your company 344 also on
and
frequency.
then I think we'll just slow it on back.
United 348, roger.
United 344, change to my frequency 126.6.
266, 34.
I bet you I can get a pretty good picture here.
United 344, thank you, crossing your company 348 also listening.
That's awesome. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start slowing us back now.
In 506, then positive pressure maintain 7,000, Kahului, altimeter
United
3002.
2219, ATS Center, squawk 2211.
Make sure I have this chart ready to go.
Kinger 60 Victor Public Cross Tamiata, about 5,000, cleared RNAV, only 4 approach Commonwealth Airport.
Alright, look at this beautiful view as we're coming up. You can see there's the shoreline we're going to be following down for our extended base right, or actually left base into runway 8. So, just gotta make sure we don't bust this altitude at Arbor. We're going to be at or above 3,000 and we're showing ourselves coming up pretty close here. Looks like we're gonna be good. I can see the runway lights up ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and slow down. I'm not sure what this is trying to do here. Still specs of 180. Flaps, 1.
United 1509, radar contact Drake, clear direct Bambo.
Flaps, 2. Flaps, 5.
That's friendly 5008. I'm sorry, saw 715 HSNS log 2232.
Flaps, 10. Gear down.
United 253, descend positive discretion, maintain level 28.
Flaps, 15.
Gate 11, contact Mauna Kea 120.3.
Let's keep it slowing down
15
here.
radar contact 5 miles northwest, 19 vortex, Honolulu, altimeter 3004 altitude.
Flaps, 25. Autopilot's coming off.
About a minute past the traffic.
ATS at friendly 50,500, I'm 95.1 yeah.
And flaps 30. Hilo traffic, United 1956. Extended left base, runway 8.
Static 5025, contact center 11H115.5.
As you can see now we're in visual meteorological conditions, so it's just pretty much a visual approach from here. So we'll take us down to 1,500 feet, which is our pattern altitude.
Friendly
Turbojet.
58,900.
United
See if you want to shift
2219,
super that
radar
direction, you're
contact
gonna run
12
into
miles
the
southwest of Massive, and we'll reroute for you, advise ready, copy.
So flight director's coming off.
United 2219, you're now cleared direct pulse, that's Papa Uniform Lima, Papa Sierra, and Alonzo, 1 arrival.
And I'm going to zoom us in here so we can get a better feel of how far from the runway we are. So you can see at 5 miles from the runway you should be at 1,500 feet. So 300 feet per nautical mile gives you a 3-degree descent path
United
to a runway.
348,
So 5 times
change
3,
to
that's
my
at
frequency
1,500.
126.6.
So we're just going to make sure we get on down to 1,500 by the time we're at that 5-mile ring.
Line 311 HDF Center, thanks to Central discussion, maintain 10,000, Honolulu, all
Obviously, keep
3004.
our eyes out for any low traffic along the shoreline, making sure we're not going to hit
United
any
348,
obstacles.
United 348, if not already, change to my frequency 126.6.
1266, United 348.
Alright, once we get the 5-mile ring, we're just going to keep our descent going. Just going to hold it steady right here at about 5 to
United 348, thanks. Cement
700
altitude,
feet
climb
per
and
minute,
maintain flight level
all the way in.
340 for crossing traffic.
Let's go ahead with the approach check. I think we already did this, but we'll do it again. Flight nav instruments verified, cabin notification complete, altimeter is 3007. It is cross-checked.
Delta
And
428, contact
check.
center 126.5. Good day.
126.5 Delta 4.
Landing gear down. Flaps.
253, HS center, just
30,
maintain flight
green
level
lights.
220. Maintain flight level 220.
Speed brake. Arms. Engine start switches continuous. Landing check complete. Alright, here we go. And I'll have our HUD out here for us. Give us a better idea.
1,000.
And we're clear to land. Reduce vertical speed for a little bit. We're a little low, lower than I'd like to be.
Approaching minimums.
I'm going to keep us 10 knots above VREF just for maneuvering purposes, because we're going to have to make a semi-tight turn here to the left to line up on final. We got us climbing a little bit, so I'm going to bring us back down. Here we go. This is a much trickier approach than you'd think. It's really easy to end up really high
minimums
as you turn final. Runway in sight. Continue. So just keep that descent coming down 700 feet per minute. Once we roll out on final, I'm going to reduce our speed bucket down to 133. And it looks like we're slightly low, so reducing vertical speed. And we don't want to go beyond 20 degrees of bank here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. And let's go 128 now, in this, or 133 in the speed. See how I ended up a little high. You can see how this is a tricky approach.
500.
I maybe should have squared off a little more.
Sync rate.
Reducing vertical speed.
Friendly 2432 ACS Center, the Mauna Kea altimeter 3005, IFR cancellation received, reset
Actually got a little
transponder, squawk
unstable there.
1742.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown. There we go. Let's get the reversers out. There, spoilers are out. Reversers are 80 knots. And I'm coming up on the brakes. We'll just roll it to the end. Stow the HUD.
1588,
So not the best, not the best job,
maintain level 210.
but I'll practice it again sometime. It's a fun approach though. I would highly recommend any of y'all giving it a shot. It's trickier than it looks.
United 253, descend to maintain 10,000, Honolulu, all clear 3004.
But we'll debrief in a little bit once we get off the run.
3004. South 715, contact ATF approach 118.3.
And welcome to Hilo. Alright, we are clear right.
Transit 6, Honolulu, all clear 3004.
L4, transfer 6.
Brakes.
311 out of flight level 20 for what 0,000.
Hawaiian 311.
There it goes. I don't know, the brakes got locked. Here they go. I guess a problem with my rudder pedal, or yeah, my rudder pedals. Toe brakes got locked somehow. I was trying to gently cycle them to slow us down. Okay, after landing flow, please. And check. Actually, let's get some lights in them. It's getting a little dark in here now. There's the sunset to start the APU. Go ahead and get that warming up. Looks like somebody's taxiing up here ahead of us. Going the other direction. Whatever. How's it going, buddy? Oh man, that's funny.
588, turn left heading 100, vector traffic.
Yeah, that's a beautiful view of, well, you can see Mauna Kea is shrouded in clouds up in front of us. But another beautiful Hawaiian sunset. It's usually pretty rainy on this side of the island, so we'll just keep taxiing to the west here. We'll continue our taxi as briefed, which had us go into, I believe this Echo we turn in on, this next left coming up. Yep, Echo, straight into the gate. And for our afterline check, engine start switches are off, flaps up, speed brakes down, and radar is off. It's in op in this aircraft. I actually need to take our transponder off to TARA to transponder, but I'll wait until I get on this straightaway on Echo. Okay. There's Echo. Let's do that now. There we go. And Hilo traffic, 1956. We are clear runway 8. We're taxiing to the terminal via Echo. Hilo. We got our rampers waiting for us there at the gates. So we'll head on over there. Wow, what a view. Look at that. Alright, there's our ramp crew at gate number 3.
And 06, turn right.
Turn off the taxi lights so we don't blind them.
9311, contact AT approach 118.3. United 1227, ATF center, squawk 2223.
It's pretty cool after the latest PMDG update. Just needs to be able to do that. Alright, looks like we got our marshal right here. I think he'll stop us, maybe? I hope he'll stop us.
United 1684, ATF center, squawk 2231.
Yes, he will. Alright, there we go. Brakes set. Let's go and get the electricity swapped over. Yep, APU generator's good. Alright, engines are coming down. 2, then 1. And let's turn off the anti-collision light. Fuel pumps. Transponder, standby.
Friendly 2432, radar service terminated. Squawk VFR, change advisory frequency approved. Use caution, there's an aircraft that appears to be departing northbound altitude 700 climbing.
Sets. And switch the bleeds over here. There we go. Let's get our chocks in. I don't think they automatically put them in. You gotta do it yourself here. Ground services.
State 94, just center, radar contact 1 mile southwest on a vortex, center heading 330.
Air conditioner unit. Alright, chocks are in. Turn off our hydraulics.
United 348, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Shutdown check. Park and brake is set. Fuel pump switches.
Calling completely unreadable ticket.
As required. Seatbelt signs.
Approach
now. Window heat off, probe heat off, anti-ice off, electric hydraulic pumps off, air conditioning panel set, anti-collision light off, engine start levers cut off, and transponder standby.
Plus 2588, clear direct
Shutdown check complete.
Top of 2588, direct back. United 1227, radar contact straight, clear and seal, maintain 13,000, 3000. 2588, discussion 13,000, 300.
Alright. Well, thank you all for flying, as a matter of fact. Thanks for riding along. Happy to get to stream again. So it took a long break from this for quite a while, but it's great to be back. Great to be doing this. And it was a lot of fun, a beautiful flight today. Just a nice evening in Hawaii.
United
Can't beat the flying here, so we'll play some music and we'll enjoy the views for a bit as the passengers plane. VRF Simmer, thanking all of you for flying, all of you fellow aviators. Look forward to seeing you again on a future stream, very likely next Friday night. Until then, be safe and enjoy the skies.
Back to 50, 25, 8, disconnect for direct
See you then.
maintain level 220.
Maintain level